Oftentimes, you'll have Christian apologetics and stuff will argue that, well, the similarities between Christianity and other savior cults of the period were just coincidences. There wasn't influence. But one of the ways you can tell that it is influence, that it is actually part of a trend, is when you look at other ancient civilizations. You look at Iran around the same period, India around the same period, China around the same period. These are all great civilizations around the same time, but they don't have religions like this at all. So when you see the comparisons, the parallels between Christianity and the mystery cults in the Mediterranean, note that can't be a coincidence, because it reflects something that's going on in the Mediterranean that was not going on in these other civilizations at the same time.
So it sounds like Dr. Carrier is arguing for some sort of diffusion, which is the idea that neighboring cultures influence each other and their ideas spread to one another, and that's how they grow, which is coincidentally an idea with which the Book of Mormon itself opens, Nephi describing that his father was taught in Egyptian. But even more than that, we teach that Christianity is the diffusion. See, Dr. Carrier is going to argue that Christianity is an outgrowth or a copy. Our claim in the Book of Mormon is that other religions are an outgrowth or a diffusion of the gospel of Jesus Christ from the beginning. From Adam, he was a prophet, and all prophets have testified of Christ.
None of the prophets have written nor prophesied, save they have spoken concerning this Christ.
In other words, our claim is that Jesus is the hero of 1,000 faces long before Joseph Campbell or anyone else even knew heroes had 1,000 faces. Now here's the thing that's awesome. Anytime I point out that the Book of Mormon contains any theory before it became widespread, somebody's going to point out that somehow some text existed before the Book of Mormon was published and that Joseph Smith had access to it. So even if I can't prove that the Book of Mormon is historical, I'm going to end up proving that Joseph Smith invented the internet.
Another thing to note, oftentimes you hear Christian apologists say that Judaism would never allow influence from outside, that they were just stalwartly opposed to it. Even if they said that, that history shows that that's not true. Judaism always adapts. In fact, most of what Judaism is a borrow from other religions. For example, circumcision and pork taboo are actually come from Egyptian religion.
Wait, so you're telling me Judaism is basically reformed Egyptian?
So you're telling me there's a chance?
So they just borrowed that, and that became part of Judaism. Those are things you think are most distinctive of Judaism, for example. And you can look at the Canaanite religions and other ancient Near Eastern religions around the rise of Judaism, and you can see it's just borrowing materials from surrounding cultures and creating their own version, tooling things together in their own way. But nonetheless, the ideas come from outside, ultimately. Some ideas come from inside as well. They have their own innovations. But one of the biggest factors in this is the Persians. So